Hey, this is a podcast. No, wait, it's a comedy podcast. Well, we tried to make it a comedy podcast, and it's not meant to offend anyone. So don't get offended, okay? And wait, there's something else. Oh, yeah. Listener discretion is advised.
Audiomatic presents Our Last Week.
Kunaal.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well.
And you're here.
Yeah, we're back.
And we are now everywhere where podcasts are available.
Mm-hmm.
And we're on a subscription model. The whole point is we're trying to make an Our Last Week family. And I've got a name for it, Kunaal. The community we form. Because I've realized the biggest thing we have and the things we miss the most is our community. Right? And this is my word for our community. I think around the world, we are a group of owls. I know it doesn't work because it's
Owls.
Our Last Week.
It's our last OWL.
Yeah, so technically it's alum.
Hello.
But we can't say alum, so I'm just going to change I'm just going to say owls.
Owls.
These are our listeners are
Our
owls.
owlers.
They're up all night. They
Yeah.
don't follow society's conventions.
Right.
Most of them are unemployed and unmarried. Probably murderers, like us. So this is the owl community.
Our last week community.
Conundrum lovers.
Yes.
Who hopefully around the world will wear our t-shirts, send us conundrums, and be part of this group so we can keep this podcast alive.
Lovely.
And not go through middlemen, aluminum salesmen, vendors.
Who are sending their conundrums to aluminum salesmen?
I don't know. I've come across all this.
And
You haven't
vendors.
lived the kind of life I've lived.
Clearly they were sending their conundrums to some different email if they had to go through aluminum vendors.
Harilal Sheet Metal and Sons.
No, that was not the
Like,
email
sir,
we gave
आपके
out.
लिए ये conundrum है. Our two categories of listeners, Kunal,
Yes.
they have names.
Really?
Yeah. So like owls, our owls are broken up into two parts. Our owls are either loyal listeners
Mm-hmm.
or royal listeners.
Wow.
So if they pay the podcast $2, they are loyal listeners.
How loyal.
And if they pay the podcast $5, they are royal listeners.
Nice.
So right now we don't have a category combining the two to become L'Oreal.
L'Oreal listeners.
L'Oreal listeners. Who are listeners who have a particular kind of shampoo. But we have loyal listeners and we have royal listeners. And we want to build a loyal and royal world.
Yes.
What is better than being loyal and royal owls?
A
What
lot
is
of
better?
things, Pal. A lot
Like,
of things.
Say two things. Say two things that are better than that. I know what you'd say. You'd say shoes without laces or something.
I would say a 4-time Olympian
Yeah.
who is now a billionaire
Okay.
and lives on his own private island in French Polynesia.
Okay, that's better.
That's a little bit.
We don't want him to come.
No.
But everyone else. So that's okay, 5.99 billion. One guy, that Olympian, he's out. But everyone else can
There's
be a
nothing
loyal
better.
and royal owl.
That's true.
And patreon.com/our last week. And let me tell you what $2 is.
It's like $160.
That's what it was.
But it keeps changing now every day.
Keeps changing. This is the currency rate. But at $2, what can you do with $2? I mean, you can pay your rent. I've
can
seen where you live.
buy- yeah.
But the rest of us, with $2, what can you I can't even buy a Nycil talcum powder with $2. Now you may ask me, why am I buying Nycil talcum powder?
And why are you buying 2 kgs of Nycil talcum powder? How much do you use?
We'll get into that. I'm taking a different kind of warm bath.
Right.
We'll get into that. And for $5, my God, for $5, the things we're offering, nothing else is being offered at $5 like that.
Yeah.
Debate that.
See,
Is anything else being offered at $5 that they're offering?
I just come back to my earlier argument.
Yeah.
That having the $5 and watching it depreciate
Yeah.
is more painful
Much more.
than spending the $5 and getting a few laughs.
And then you know what you can do with the $5.
Nothing
and
much.
you're not doing it.
Yeah.
You know you can come to patreon.com/our last week and you're not doing it. That's like you can see the party from the outside.
And when they say
But you're
deploy
not
your
coming in.
funds, deploy your funds.
Yeah.
And when they say, put your funds to work.
Yeah.
Let them work for you.
Yeah.
Don't let them sit around.
Yeah.
We are doing the work.
Yeah.
You are just giving the funds.
Giving the funds.
But your funds are working for you.
Working. You can hear it working.
You can hear it working.
Otherwise, I mean, you'll be $5 richer, but you'll also be dead eventually.
Yeah, that we all die.
So what are you doing with your life is my question. If you are not doing this. Unless, forget that Olympian. I know what he's doing. He's on an island doing whatever you said he's doing. But everybody else, what are you doing? You're not even in the Olympics. You just have some job and you have headphones. Why don't you combine the headphones with your job in your ears and then do this? How dumb is it to just put on headphones and not have anything coming out into your ears?
See, because I just feel that people are
This
buying
quality.
very expensive phones and headphones.
Yeah,
But what are they listening to?
exactly. Can you just sit there and be like, see, I'm so rich, I've got headphones
But what is it?
and I'm driving very long distances.
Yeah.
But who is giving you things? Sorry, I think
I think enough of a hard sell.
touched the microphone inappropriately.
Yeah.
But patreon.com/our last week, that's where we will be waiting
For your money.
for you, and the money that you don't need.
Or you shouldn't hold.
Shouldn't hold on to it.
In fact, you can't be trusted with it.
You are the wrong person
For your money.
for your money.
We are the right people.
So one thing I want to ask you, Kunal, I was in the UK for a long time. And one thing I really missed, and I want to know how you feel about this, are people, the very specific thing I missed. Lots of people will say, I missed food or I missed the bum shower. You know how it is. You see it on Instagram. Things up in India I miss that are not there in abroad or whatever. The thing I missed the most were people... there's a thing in India of people who loiter are outside kirana shops. Like they don't have any specific role, but they can help you with directions. I think the big difference between the West and India in retail is there aren't enough loiterers. I want your view on the loiterer.
See, the loiterer is basically there for opportunity. Whether it is for conversation or to ultimately own one of the corner stores.
Yeah.
Because I've seen
But
this
also
happen.
often to help bystanders.
They help bystanders. Then, because there's one loiterer who was helping this other lady run this eggs and bread and cheese and butter kind of store who was close to, and he also provided some service of delivery and this, that, and he'd sit around and all.
But he's basically
Ultimately,
like a loiterer.
he was a loiterer. What ultimately happened is that he married the lady who was running that store.
Who was the owner of
Who was the owner
goods.
of that little goods thing.
Yeah.
And he ended up he runs that store.
Okay.
So
So
I
he
think
had a plan.
I don't know whether it was a plan, but it came out of loitering.
Yeah.
It came out of just hanging around, just like being around this area.
Yeah.
And I think that the good thing is, if you're just hanging and not doing anything and you're with friends and you're just it's more a waste of time because there isn't any there's no industry over there. But outside a shop, what's happening is that there's constant activity.
You're
And there's
seeing
and you're seeing
transactions
transactions happen. So someone needs to go somewhere. They need to buy something. They can't find it at this store. They need it delivered to their home.
They want an auto.
They need an auto. They need some transport. They need help. they want just some rubbish conversation. They
Yeah.
need direction. So I'm saying that what happens is that at these places, at these nodes, you know,
Critical nodes
critical
in
nodes,
India, there are loiterers
there are loiterers because you
at traffic signals.
correct, because those are places where people congregate to do and
Work.
for work. Some economic transaction is going
Even
to
when
take
you
place.
see where there's a car accident, it's the loiterer that's there first.
Yeah, and I'm saying the beauty about India is
Yeah.
that when there's constant economic transaction,
Yeah.
there are witnesses to it.
They're witnesses to every activity.
To every activity.
When
So
you
this
buy
guy
a-
is just he's 3 dozen eggs today, huh?
And the loiterer can sometimes be helpful. So say the lady is shopping
Yeah.
at a open market
Hmm.
and she'll say, you know, कितना है आज tomato कितना है?
Hmm.
And the guy will say, आज है 50 रुपया kilo, madam.
Hmm.
The loiterer might sometimes come in. इतना क्यों है?
Yeah.
The loiterer might.
He might side with the customer also. Say, hey boy, hey boy, क्या कर
ठीक
रहे
से
हो
बोलना.
भाई? सही बोलना, सही दो ना मैडम को.
Yeah. And then when they ask him, आप कौन है? He'll say, मैं यही हूँ.
मैं इधर का ही हूँ.
इधर का ही हूँ. And it doesn't explain. It's such a beautiful line.
Yeah.
Because imagine if someone asked you,
Who are you?
Who are you? Or what do you do? You, an upper middle class person. If your response is, I'm from here only.
I'm from here. I'm around. I wait around.
मैं इधर से ही हूँ.
You know, I have I have an electrician,
Okay.
and I don't know. Many people might be, and I guess this is a thing with a lot of people. I have an electrician who comes over and whenever anytime I need some work done, and he's got one loiterer friend.
Yeah.
So that guy, like, I don't know what the dynamic between the two of them
Yeah.
is. The electrician does the work,
Yeah.
but that guy is there like a moral support. You know, like he's not much help that
Yeah.
way. I think his expertise also slightly different. I think
Yeah.
he's more into plumbing or he's more into some other thing. But by and large,
He's just a person.
He's just a guy who's there with him.
Yeah.
And he's loitering around this guy doing his work.
Yeah.
So he's not really. He might or might not be getting a little money or some
Yeah.
like but basically he's loitering around another guy who's working. And I like that. I
He's
like
a
that.
mobile loiterer.
He's a mobile loiterer. So
He's attached himself to a profession.
so
He loiters with a plumber.
he loiters with a plumber and he just hangs around that guy. He offers advice. You know, he'll say, "Arey yaar, aise." You know, he gives a little this thing like
थोड़ा
he might-
ऊपर कर,
थोड़ा ऊपर
थोड़ा
कर,
left
हाँ
कर.
left में कर, center में है, हाँ.
But he can't even diagnose the problem.
No.
No.
He's-
And when you press the bell, the guy you've hired, he'll always explain. He said, "Saab ye mere saath hai."
ये
But
मेरे
he
साथ है.
won't tell you his name.
Nothing.
I'm fascinated by that other guy.
He's just another guy. He's just another.
In a country of billions,
Yeah.
I feel like there's a significant life in just attaching yourself to another person.
Correct. And I'm saying that's what happens. That's how you build a career, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's not really an apprentice also. I wouldn't call him.
No.
He's just
'Cause
around some other activity that's happening. See,
Yeah.
that the option is to go out on work with a guy who has work or to stick around at home.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be around a person who's working, right?
Yeah.
Like he's working, he's doing his thing, and I'm just around him.
I'm his friend.
Yeah.
I'm like his.
I'm just, I'm here.
just- Yeah. The thing is that then people will call you when they just need someone to attach. You know, they'll call you. क्या कर रहा है सुधीर? क्या कर रहा है?
कुछ नहीं.
कुछ नहीं, बस यही हो.
आ
आजा.
जाओ.
And the other guy doesn't explain what the work is.
There's no explanation. आ जाओ.
Then he goes. And he just loiters
He
with
loiters with them.
some- And in what other country?
And you know
There's no other country
No,
where
no.
this happens.
And I've seen this happen even with brokers.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know whether you've noticed
Real
this
estate
with
brokers.
Real estate brokers.
There's the mean broker.
There's the main broker, and then there's another guy.
Attached guy.
Sometimes he's just there. You know,
Yeah.
he's just like another guy who's there with
Yeah.
the broker. He's just a guy.
My brokers come with all sorts of different people. I've never inquired who the...
Who they are.
Yeah.
ये मेरे साथ है.
And then later, he'll come up in reference. He's like, the documents are with Rajesh. Who, Rajesh? You know that guy who used to come...
Yeah.
He said for 6-7 years he didn't have a name.
Yeah.
He was just a guy that loitered. You know, the person, my person, he's with me, na? That he's, and so that's I find that quite fascinating. And I think that as long as they see that this other person has work,
There's something is happening with that person.
that
There's some economic
more is
activity,
going on
more
in
is
his
going-
life than
in
mine.
mine. Yeah.
Let me see if I can roam around with him
Yeah. And then we'll
at
see.
my own expense.
Then we'll see what happens.
We'll see what. And I feel like that's a much better way of living. That's the way. I want to be that person.
Yeah.
Kunal, some point, I want you to take me somewhere. And if they ask you who's this, and I just want to say I'm from here only, and I want you to say he's with me
He's with me. Mere saath.
and never explain it. Kunal,
Yeah.
I have a few conundrums.
Okay.
You know, it's I guess that's what we do.
We do this. Yeah.
I want your view on freelancers.
Okay.
Because I feel like there's a close association between freelancers and trust. I'll tell you what I mean. When you're a freelancer, you enter a project and you work with people you don't know. They don't really know you, they've hired you for a certain thing. And they are trying to figure out, we'll pay this guy if and when we like his work. And the freelancer is thinking, these guys will never pay me, they don't know who I am. Like they are saying they'll put me on some contract, but how do I trust them? So it's a cat and mouse game where they are like, you produce the work, then we'll pay you. And the freelancer thinks to himself, I'll make some work to get paid, but not my best work. And the status between the two is mutual distrust. And based on that, the freelancer works at different levels of enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Do you think that that is a fair representation of the freelance life?
Yeah, it is. I think as an actor, I guess you are sort of freelancer in a sense. You're working with different people constantly,
But your face is known.
your face is known, and also once you get into a project as an actor, it's very difficult for them to remove you because you've shot certain things
Yeah.
and then they're committed to it, and then you're the one who's
But
holding more.
can someone act a little bit less if the money
That's what
hasn't
I was
come?
wondering, if the money doesn't come. I mean, I've done this. I've
Reduced
I've
the
like tried
amount
to
of acting.
not come out of my van till the check arrives and all that stuff.
Okay.
But I was wondering if there could just be a simpler, like a
Just
slot
a notch
machine.
down.
Yeah. Where you just put in the money and then the performance starts.
That's what
like
I mean.
something that's a little simpler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like even with the writing a script or something like that, it should be just like a slot machine sort of thing.
So say the NEFT reaches your bag
yeah.
and your van door opens
Yeah.
and you're ready with your lines. And
Yeah.
your line is like, koi khoon nahi karega mujhe, whatever your line is, right? But say the money doesn't come, you still go out, but you're koi khoon nahi karega mujhe. So sort of like,
Or you stop in the middle, na?
yeah, koi khoon nahi. क्या हुआ सर? वो सर का पेमेंट नहीं आया.
Yeah.
वो अभी लो पे चल रहा है. वो अभी लो पे चल रहा है. Because, and we were talking about this earlier, that life is very hard when you get known as a commodity.
Right.
There's endless potential if you're a freelancer who hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
Because then the organization that's booked you, so say as a scriptwriter, they're like, we don't know what his potential is.
Right.
It could be shit, it could be great.
It could be superb.
But let's not pay him.
Yeah.
Let's first figure out his potential. And the scriptwriter is thinking, these bastards will never pay me. So I will not release my potential. So it's a proper conundrum
Yeah.
on who will blink first.
So one is thinking, I won't give them the full me.
My full me.
Like I won't give them full this thing because they haven't paid full. And they're thinking, we won't pay full. We are still.
Let's see his full
let's
him.
see his full him.
Yeah.
But then you spend many years just playing with that notion. You just.
The bottle will never open.
Yeah, because then many people are like, Arey, you don't know what all he can do. I'm telling you, he is going to be.
Once you open that bottle.
He a lot of depth. So I'm saying that then a lot of people then punt on
Yeah.
the fact that, but the problem is that once you have exposed yourself as a writer or as an actor or as this
Yeah.
thing,
So I give you my full. Now pay me.
now but
then
then
they're like, oh, this is your full.
this is all, this is how you act. So then I'm saying that then you've limited it. No, then you've kind of defined that this is my capability.
Do you think the best answer is never showing your full hand? I mean, maybe there is no full hand. Maybe you're a shit person.
Maybe there is no hand.
There's nothing to show.
Yeah.
But best is to tell the world that I can play a full hand.
You don't know what my full hand
You
is.
don't know what there is here.
Yeah. It's basically like the startup culture.
Hmm.
Basically, you should not be profitable because
Never.
as soon as you're profitable, you've defined how much,
And
how
people are
profitable.
like, but this is it.
Then that's it.
Yeah.
What is this? 20%, 30% profit. This is rubbish. We were expecting 40,000.
You're saying life lies in potential.
It lies in what can be.
Yeah.
What the possibility of
So
this.
in the arts, it's almost better to get a guy and say that, this guy is a brilliant writer.
Hmm.
They're like, what has he written? He hasn't written anything as yet.
Hmm.
But he can write anything.
Hmm.
And everyone's like, okay, wow.
Hmm.
So the hype is much more important.
Much more important.
And they're like, write something. And he's like, pay me.
Yeah.
He's like, but we haven't written anything. We don't know your potential. He's like, but if you don't pay me, how will you see my potential? So it becomes a proper conundrum.
Correct.
Kunaal,
Yes.
I have a political conundrum.
Okay.
Recently,
Mm-hmm.
there was a situation, there was a certain defection, betrayal of the political party, and 30 MLAs defected from the party.
Right.
They're telling you to betray the party you've believed in your whole life.
Right.
So that's the question. Like, I have a question for you. Do you have a price of betrayal?
Yeah, of course. Everyone has a price. Right? I mean, like, you have to.
Let a price to say whatever you're in,
Yeah.
to stab that organization or that person in the back.
Right.
What is your price? Yeah, like there's a thing like that, right?
So it depends on, firstly, how attached you are to the thing that you're attached to. Like how passionately you feel about that, and how vehemently you hate the other one to join with them.
But let us say you don't hate either side of it, that it's purely financial.
Then you're totally up for sale, right?
Yeah. So as these MLAs are, so let us say that you are in a film
Yeah.
and you're offered some money to stab the crew in the back and the
Yeah.
film and defect and make the same script with another person. So and let us say you have no morals.
No.
Say you are inherently treacherous. And you, in your head, have you worked out a price if life was to ever give you that option?
Well, it would have to be enough to make sure that I don't need to do it too many more times.
No, and it's a one-time, I think this sort of payout only happens once in a life.
Yeah. So, I mean, basically, you're waiting most of your life to say that when is that moment going to come when you'll be able to quantify my
Your betrayal.
deceit. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, because we are deceitful every day.
But you've thought about it, right?
Of course.
See, this is the thing. I was thinking about it. Like, first I got upset because I was like, why don't I get opportunities like this?
Correct.
Like, why? But then I think this MLA had to work his whole life to get to this position where
Correct.
he's purchasable.
Right. And so I'm saying that once you say that, okay, now I am up for sale, is it the right time to sell? You have to think of that, because ultimately you have to say that I'm selling myself. Once I've sold myself, I don't know whether I'll be of any value after this.
Correct.
Because whether
How
I'll
many
get...
betrayals will you do?
How many betrayals do I have in me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, because you can't betray and go back to the original side because you betrayed them.
Correct. So that's where legends are born.
This is the one-time payout.
Yeah. Either you make that one-time killing and you're done. So then whatever, then it doesn't matter whether you stand next time, you don't have any political ambition. But the legends are the ones who are able to then put a price on their honesty.
Wow.
So
then they say, this is my betrayal price.
but
Then they go back to the original parties and say, these guys came.
They came, but I don't want to take it. I want to be honest.
But
I want to be
my
honest.
price
But this is my price for the honesty.
for being
Honest.
what I was 3
Yeah.
days before I got the call.
So that is the
If you
game that
want
you play.
if you want me to continue as is,
As an honest guy.
but the boss will be like, but That's your
That
current
is honesty.
status.
But that is honesty. He's saying, no.
No. There's a price.
See,
It was honesty till yesterday.
now you need to pay
it's
for
a
the honesty.
Choice.
Correct.
Now, if you want me to continue
Yeah,
as is, the price is 6 crores.
correct.
Because I've got a counter offer.
Yeah.
I've got a betrayal
So
offer
you tell
for 5 crores.
me, you want me to be honest or you want me to be betray? Or you want me to betray? The choice is yours. So I'm saying,
And the boss, the original honest boss will be like, why is this a choice? You should just be honest or be a betrayal. He's like, no.
I want to be honest. I want to be honest. You have to help me to be honest. But see, honesty, you have to just be. No,
you can't just be.
You can't just be.
I could be 3 days
I
ago.
can be anything.
Yeah,
I could
yeah.
be a chicken also. But here I want to be honest. Would you like me to be honest?
Yeah. Then this is what it'll
Then
cost.
this is what it'll cost.
And he said, but last week you were honest. He said, yeah, but last week I didn't have the
Counter.
betrayal offer.
See, because when you don't have the
A price for the other
for
thing.
the betrayal, then
Yeah.
what is my price for honesty?
Yeah.
So both
These are life-changing moments.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because like right now we are ordinary citizens
Right.
living our life. If tomorrow someone says, here's the price I will pay you for not being who you are.
Yeah.
I want you to, I don't know, go and flash
Yeah.
your neighbor,
Yeah.
for which I'm going to pay you 3 crores.
Yeah.
Then if there's a counter opportunity, say
Correct.
you go to your neighbor and say, see, this guy's saying 3 crores to flash you.
I don't want to do it.
I don't think
I
you want
don't
to
want
see
to do
me
it.
naked.
What is your
What is your price for me not to flash? And the
Correct.
neighbor will say, but why are you giving me these options?
See, I don't want to. I don't want to.
I don't want to see you naked in either circumstance.
Yeah, but now
Now
you
this
tell
is
me
gonna
what you want
happen.
me to do.
Yeah.
You tell me.
You want to see me naked? I don't want to see you naked.
Then you'll have to pay.
Why should I have to pay?
Then you have to help me.
They're like, these are your problems, not my problems. Now it's your problem.
Now it is yours.
You either see me butt naked early morning, for which this is the price. So that other guy's like, how this is a non-existent problem that I now have to deal with. So thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you for listening to this podcast.
Yes, but Kunal, if you would like to listen to this 2 days earlier, you can go to
patreon.com/ourlastweek.
Please do that.
And you will receive a host of benefits there. So
You can be a subscriber for just $2 or $5 on patreon.com/ourlastweek.
ooh, that was quite sexy.
Namaste.
You were listening to Our Last Week, produced by Rajesh Tahil and Avdut Khanolkar, hosted by Anuvab Pal and Kunal Roy Kapoor, assistant producers Akansha Kadam and Rahul Vaswani.